Terran Jovan Republic ship Torch. Escape trajectory from Earth, 1 week after pulse. So, their entire signal consisted of prime numbers, 20 digits of pi, and 20 digits of the root of 2. This is undeniable proof that intelligent life just contacted us. The signal I sent back should contain similar data. We need to use simple pulses like they did in order to establish a baseline for communication. I believe we should repeat their message exactly, then add some new information, something short and simple, so it doesn't get confused with something else. I'm kind of blanking on what we should send, to be honest. Dave shook his head. Anyone have any suggestions? A hand raised. Yes, Monica? Just call NASA. We're about to be in range of their comms. A pause. Oh, right. That might be a good idea. Captain William butted in. You'd better get Jovian Space Command in on this. They probably all got the signal anyways, and we don't want anyone left out of the loop. Jovian Space Command headquarters, approximately 20 feet to the west of NASA headquarters, Earth, 1 week after pulse. We just received a message from the Torch ship. They got the same signal we did and wanted to know what to say. I'm going to talk to Samuel. Bill walked over to NASA headquarters. Honestly, it was both a genius, but also a slightly silly move to stick both agencies right next to each other. It allowed for extremely easy collaboration and coordination of launches, but the hour-and-a-half delay when communicating with Saturn created some extremely awkward problems. Orbital stations acting as traffic control were required on every actively mined moon in the area in order to prevent the lightly shielded engines of NTR cargo ships from accidentally irradiating nearby ships. And it was really quite impossible for Jovian Space Command to make split-second decisions regarding the affairs of space around Saturn. However, the ability to just walk over to speak to the director of NASA in times like this was extremely convenient. Hey, Sam, we need to talk. Agreed. Want a drink? Samuel opened a bottle of whiskey and poured 2 glasses. Bill accepted one. Thanks. Our first contact message shall be made while slightly buzzed by your decree. Samuel laughed and went on. Anyways, the Torch has some seriously powerful communication equipment, and as it gets closer, it will be able to meet up with their ship and hopefully get more information on how their technology works, so we can communicate more effectively with them. We're pretty certain they're not hostile, seeing as they've had a week to look at us, and all they've done is send a pretty powerful hello signal. I think that our response message should repeat their message back, then send a 3, 4, 5, and 6 to show which planets we have humans on, as well as the average atomic masses of hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen, to show them what we consist of. Bill frowned. I'm not sure if they'll get that 3, 4, 5, and 6 represent planets. That's a bit too vague in my opinion. Also, I think we should add those elements' melting points in Kelvin, as well as 27315 for water. If we give them the boiling point of water in Kelvin, they might be able to figure out our atmospheric pressure. Things will get a lot easier once we're not limited to sending what is effectively Space Morse code. I think that they should try to get radio communications with the other ship. If they have radio receivers, we should get a pretty basic dialogue going, assuming they can send information instantaneously. We're still going to have a 15-hour delay between messages, though. Right. I'll tell the Torch to send our atomic data towards the aliens, as well as send an FM signal. If long-wave radio works, that would be very helpful for speeding up information transfer. Samuel contacted the Torch. Captain William, the eyes of the entire solar system are on you and your broadcast is going to the public. There's no way in hell this isn't going to be the most recorded message in the history of mankind. Here's what you're going to do. The probe's mission control team, 1 week and a day after the pulse. Met was discussing the data with the team. So, about 1 radiation pulse per second for 30 minutes. Then it stopped. It's been silent ever since. We got very lucky in our probe's placement because we have what is essentially a top-down view of their entire solar system, and we don't need to triangulate trajectories in order to get a rough idea of what's going on. I haven't had time to map it out, but the 6th planet, a gas giant, seems to have a significant number of moons as well as a quite substantial ring. On the high-gain IR telescope, some much smaller signatures have been spotted near the planet, as well as one which seems to be in transit between the 4th and 6th planet. I suspect that those are from radiative surfaces rejecting heat at over 800 degrees. Maybe some form of very high-temperature heat engine? Lest spoke up. Hey, I got a response. It appears to be from the 3rd planet. They repeated our message in the long-wave radio band. And there's some new stuff. I'll read out the numbers. 1008. Pause. 14. Pause. 12011. Pause. 3675. Pause. 14007. Pause. 63. Pause. 15999. Pause. 44. Pause. Oh, and an FM radio transmission. It's in an alien language, but I'll play it out anyway. This is Captain William Robert Monger of the Terran and Jovian Republic ship Torch. Greetings and welcome to the Sol System. We hope you come in peace. Our collective governments have decided to send my ship to make first contact with you. We're going to be sending you constant radio signals for the entire journey to give you guys something to chew on during the trip. If you wouldn't mind reciprocating, that'd be great. This ship is powered by nuclear bombs exploding approximately every second. But once we're in the cruise phase, we should be good to communicate. We plan on taking a high-speed route directly to your craft. It's a pretty high inclination, because you guys ended up in one of the most inconvenient spots ever. Carr spoke first. So now we need to figure out what this all means. They clearly have radio technology, so I believe we can start sending them information. I think we should immediately start giving them a basic course of our language. Lest replied. Agreed, that would be useful. Also, we can use multiple frequencies to send more information. It might not be the fastest, but we could also send bits of data. Gasp! We could send them the binary instructions for a basic computer operating system. That would allow us to run video programs on their computers and give them visuals of what we look and sound like. Carr, could you get a team to figure out what those numbers mean? Met spoke up. Hey, guys, the radiation pulses have started again.